Good evening, students. Again, I am sharing you chapter number 1, that is circular flow of income. In circular flow of income, you must know that there are 3 sectors of economy. In 10th class, we have done there are 3 sectors of economy are there: primary sector, secondary sector, and tertiary sector. So whole economy is divided into 3 parts. Okay, these sectors are further divided into 4 parts. See, till 10th class we have learned that economy is divided into 3 parts, but in 12th level the economy is further divided into 4 sectors. Okay, so first one is household, second one is firm, third one is government, and fourth is foreign sector. तो इकोनॉमी को हमने प्राइमरी, सेकेंडरी, टर्शियरी के अलावा 4 और सेक्टर में डिवाइड किया हुआ है. ठीक है, ये प्राइमरी, सेकेंडरी, टर्शियरी का ही पार्ट है. पहला है हाउस होल्ड, सेकेंड वन इज़ फर्म्स, थर्ड वन इज़ गवर्नमेंट एंड फोर्थ वन इज़ फॉरेन सेक्टर. बट फर्स्ट 2 sectors, that is household and firms, are very important. They played a vital role in circulation of income. So household and firms are very important in circulation of income in the economy. So first of all, we need to learn what is the meaning of circular flow of income. So I am reading: income which flows first from firm to household in the form of factor payments, and then from household to firms in the form of consumption expenditure. Such a flow is known as circular flow of income. It means जो इनकम हाउस होल्ड से फर्म के पास जाती है और फर्म से हाउस होल्ड के पास में जाती है, उस फ्लो को बोलते हैं सर्कुलर फ्लो ऑफ इनकम. सो हाउस होल्ड गिव्स टू फर्म्स कंजम्पशन एक्सपेंडिचर एंड फर्म गिव्स टू हाउस होल्ड फैक्टर पेमेंट. फर्म पहले हाउस होल्ड को फैक्टर पेमेंट देती है. फैक्टर पेमेंट मीन्स आपको पता होगा कि फैक्टर ऑफ प्रोडक्शन से फैक्टर इनकम आती है, उसको बोलते हैं रेंट, वेजेस, इंटरेस्ट, प्रॉफिट. 4 टाइप की इनकम है और 4 टाइप के फैक्टर ऑफ प्रोडक्शन है. उन फैक्टर ऑफ प्रोडक्शन से फैक्टर इनकम आती है. ओके, सो नाउ हाउ द इनकम मूव्स इन द इकोनॉमी. सो there are 3 phases of circular flow of income. First one is generation phase or production phase. Second one is distribution or income phase. Third one is expenditure or disposition phase. See, first income generates by production. In first phase, household gives to firms factor services and firm gives to household goods and services. पहले फेज़ में हाउस होल्ड फर्म को फैक्टर सर्विस देंगे. फैक्टर सर्विस मीन्स फैक्टर ऑफ प्रोडक्शन, दैट मीन्स लैंड, लेबर, कैपिटल और एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप. इसके बदले में फर्म्स जो हैं हाउस होल्ड को दे विल गिव गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज. सो देयर इज नो मनी इन्वॉल्वमेंट. इन सेकेंड फेज फर्म्स विल गिव द फैक्टर इनकम ऑफ ऑन द बिहाफ ऑफ फैक्टर ऑफ प्रोडक्शन और फैक्टर सर्विसेज. फैक्टर सर्विसेज के बदले में सेकेंड फेज में फर्म्स जो हैं वो पेमेंट करेंगी. what they will pay? They will pay rent, wages, interest and profit. So you must remember that in second phase the payment in the form of rent, wages, interest and profit they will pay. Okay, in first phase household will give factor services and firm will give goods and services. ओके, फर्स्ट फेज में हाउस होल्ड देंगे फर्म को फैक्टर सर्विसेज. फैक्टर सर्विसेज मीन्स फैक्टर्स ऑफ प्रोडक्शन, दैट इज लैंड, लेबर, कैपिटल एंड एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप. लैंड, लेबर, कैपिटल, एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप. ओके, उसके बदले में फर्म्स देंगी गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज. ओके, In second phase is the payment phase, or the payment will done by first the firm will give to household. Because of factor services, the firm will do payment. For land, it will pay rent. For labor, it will pay wages. For capital, it will pay interest. And for entrepreneurship, it will pay profit. Okay. Now the money in the hand of household. Now household will spend the money for goods and services. अब इस फेज में household जो है मनी खर्च करेगा goods and services पे, and it will do consumption expenditure. Now household will spend money on goods and services known as household will spend money on goods and services known as consumption expenditure. Okay. So in first phase, household will give factor services to firms, and firms will give goods and services to household. In second phase, it is a payment phase, or you can say income phase. In this one, firm will give payment for factor services to household in the form of rent, wages, interest and profit. In third phase, household will do its expenses. Household will spend the money on goods and services which is given by firms. इस फेज में हाउस होल्ड जो है वो खर्चा करेगा किस पर, गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज पे जो फर्म ने हाउस होल्ड को दी थी, ठीक है, और वो मनी दोबारा से फर्म के पास चली जाएगी. तो इसको ऐसे बनाया हुआ है. फर्स्ट फेज इज प्रोडक्शन फेज, सेकेंड फेज इज इनकम फेज, एंड थर्ड वन इज एक्सपेंडिचर फेज. इन फर्स्ट फेज, रिमेंबर, in first phase, household will give to firms what they will give factor services to firms, and firms will give goods and services in this phase. Okay. In second phase, the income which is generated by factor services, land, labor, capital, entrepreneurship से जो income आई है in the form of rent, wages, interest, profit, it will be given to households. अब household उस income को प्राप्त करेगा एंड हाउस होल्ड उस इनकम को खर्च करेगा. इस फेज़ में यहाँ पे उसने इनकम रिसीव करी है, इस फेज़ में वो इनकम को स्पेंड करेगा किस पे, गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज पे. और अगेन वो इनकम कहाँ चली जाएगी, फर्म के पास में. फर्म अगेन प्रोडक्शन करेगा, उस प्रोडक्शन से फिर इनकम जनरेट होगी इन द फॉर्म ऑफ रेंट, वेज, इंटरेस्ट, प्रॉफिट, और वो इनकम जाएगी हाउस होल्ड के पास में. हाउस होल्ड उस इनकम को एक्सपेंड करेगा, अगेन जाएगा फर्म के पास में. तो दिस इज़ कॉल्ड सर्कुलर फ्लो ऑफ इनकम. रिमेंबर, प्रोडक्शन फेज़ को जनरेशन फेज़ भी कहते हैं, इनकम फेज़ को डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन फेज़ भी कहते हैं, और एक्सपेंडिचर फेज़ को डिस्पोजिशन फेज़ भी कहते हैं. मतलब एंड दिस क्वेश्चन वाज केम टू लास्ट ईयर इन 3 marks. सो दिस इज 3 marks क्वेश्चन. Okay, so this kind of question can come in exam, like explain the circular flow of income with 3 phases. So you should remember. Now after circular flow of income, next concept is stock and flow concept. Now what is stock? In simple language, stock is any variable which is measured at a particular point of time. Any variable which is measured at a particular point of time is a stock, and whereas any variable which is measured over a period of time, it is known as flow. मीन्स कोई भी वेरिएबल किसी पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम पे अगर हम उसको मेजर करते हैं, इट इज़ स्टॉक, एंड एनी वेरिएबल विच वी आर मेजरिंग ओवर पीरियड ऑफ टाइम, इट इज नोन एज फ्लो. ओके. एंड पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम, लाइक it means it is not having any end point. Stock is always having the starting point but not having any end point. It is a point concept. For example, capital we invest at a particular point of time. National wealth we measure at a particular point of time. Okay. And flow is any variable which is having starting point and end point. That's why it is flow concept, and we measure it during period of time. It is having starting point, flow having starting point and end point, but stock is having only starting point but not having end point. तो stock is any variable which is measured at a particular point of time, and flow is any variable which is measured during a period of time. Okay, so in the second difference between stock and flow, it does not having a time dimension, means it does not having the time dimension means it is not having the starting or end point. It is just having single point, you can say a point, a starting point, but not having the end point. इसका dimension नहीं होता, means like starting or end. It is not having two dimension, it is having just a single point, starting or end. Okay, तो इसका है कोई, it is not having any time dimension, it is having only point of time. Okay, it is not like the स्टार्टिंग और एंड पॉइंट, इट इज़ जस्ट अ पर्टिकुलर पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम. इसकी इस पॉइंट पे कितना कोई चीज़ अवेलेबल है. तो स्टॉक इज एनी वेरिएबल विच इज मेजर्ड एट अ पर्टिकुलर पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम. एंड फ्लो इज़ अ टाइम डायमेंशन. फ्लो का टाइम डायमेंशन होता है, फ्लो हैविंग वन स्टार्टिंग पॉइंट वन एंड पॉइंट. फॉर एग्जांपल वी मेजर नेशनल इनकम इन अ फाइनेंशियल ईयर. फॉर एग्जांपल 1 अप्रैल 2014 टू 31 मार्च 2015. It is having one starting point and one end point. So flow having time dimension means one starting point, one end point. Okay, and stock having no time dimension, कोई point, इसका starting point होता है, end point नहीं होता. इसका starting point भी होता है, end point भी होता है. ठीक है ना, time period होता है. And it is static. Static means fixed. Stock is a fixed nature, means किसी particular point of time पर कितनी चीज़ available है, it is fixed in nature. And flow is dynamic, मतलब it is changeable, it keeps on changing. For example, national income in January, in February, in March, it keeps on changing, it keeps on changing. Okay, in January it is something else, in February it is something else, March something else, it keeps on changing. So that's why it is known as dynamic. It is fixed, and dynamic means it is changeable. For example, national wealth we measure at a particular point of time. Money supply, it not changes until and unless RBI change it. Okay, quantity of wheat stored, किसी भी गोदाम में कितना wheat stored है, it is also a static concept, or you can say stock concept, because it is fixed. Okay, and it does not having any time dimension. Whereas national income is flow concept. Maruti cars manufactured in during 2019 is a flow concept, because it is a particular period of time. इट ईयर में कोई कार प्रोड्यूस हो रही है, इट इज़ फ्लो. नंबर ऑफ बर्थ ड्यूरिंग 2019, हाउ मेनी बर्थ्स आर देयर, इट इज़ ऑल्सो अ फ्लो कॉन्सेप्ट, बिकॉज इट कीप्स ऑन चेंजिंग. तो स्टॉक एंड फ्लो आर टू मेन concept in this chapter. Remember, for knowing that whether it is stock or flow, if in any particular line there are three words are there, point of time, you must remember it is stock. If these words are there over a period of time, it is known as flow, or during a period of time it is also flow. So remember this thing, stock having the three word point of time, and flow is having the three word over a period of time or during a period of time. Same thing. Stock is having no time dimension, flow having the time dimension. Nature, it is static, it is dynamic. इसके examples, national wealth, money supply, quantity of wheat stored, किसी fixed quantity of time stock is there. And whereas in flow, national income, Maruti cars manufactured during 2019, it's a flow because a year we are mentioning over a year. Over a year means a period of time. Number of bird during 2019. During 2019, this word means it is a flow concept because we are taking a during a period of time, not a point of time. Okay. So difference between stock and flow is also very important. It usually come in 3 or 4 marks. Now, there are two flows. Now we will talk about the flow. There are two type of flow is there. First one is real flow and second one is nominal or money flow. What is real flow? Real flow refers to flow of factor services from household to firms and corresponding flow of goods and services from firm to household. It means first household will give to firms. What they will give? They will give factor services. Factor services, you must know, it is factors of production, land, labor, कैपिटल, एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप, इनको फैक्टर सर्विसेज कहते हैं. फैक्टर्स ऑफ प्रोडक्शन और फैक्टर सर्विसेज आर सेम थिंग्स. ओके. फर्स्ट फेज में household will give factor services to firms, that is known as land, labor, capital, entrepreneurship, and firm will give goods and services to households. इसके बदले में household को firm देंगे goods and services. First household will give to firms factor services, and in reverse the firms will give goods and services to households. Okay, and you must remember factor production and factor services are same thing. In this flow we also known as physical flow. इस flow को हम लोग physical flow भी कहते हैं because there is no money involvement involves. Okay, there is no money involvement is there, only we are exchanging things. It is also known as barter system. We are exchanging things, that's why it is known as barter system. Okay, now we can understand this real flow by a flow chart. See, in first one, household will give something to firms. What household will give? You know, household will give factor services, that is also known as factors of production. What they will give? They will give land, labor, capital, or entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship means skills, knowledge. Okay. In reverse, firms will give goods and services to households, like exchange. They are doing barter, they are exchanging. So household will give factor services to firms, and firms will give goods and services to household. This is called real flow, which is also known as physical flow. Now second part is known as money flow, or we can say exchange of money. In this one, the payment of money will be there. Like in real flow we exchange goods and services and factor services. In this one, the payment of factor services and payment of goods and services will take place in this flow. Okay, so it refers to flow of factor payment from firm to household. इस flow में क्या होगा? Firm will do payment to household for factor services. Firm will give the payment for factor services to household. Firm जो है factor services के बदले में payment देंगे households को. इन द फॉर्म ऑफ, देखिए आपको पता होना चाहिए फैक्टर सर्विसेज क्या थे? लैंड, लेबर, कैपिटल, एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप. इसके बदले में जो पेमेंट है इट इज़ नोन एज रेंट फॉर लैंड, वेजेस फॉर लेबर, कैपिटल के लिए इंटरेस्ट, एंड एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप मीन्स स्किल्स के लिए प्रॉफिट पेमेंट करेगी फर्म्स हाउस होल्ड को. ओके, एंड corresponding flow of consumption expenditure from household to firms, and household firms को पेमेंट करेंगे goods and services के, because household have got the goods and services. household ने goods and services लिया firm से, उसके बदले में वो पेमेंट करेंगे क्या? consumption expenditure. एंड firms जो हैं वो फैक्टर पेमेंट पे करेंगे firms household को. ओके, दिस फ्लो इज ऑल्सो नोन एज नॉमिनल फ्लो. इस फ्लो को नॉमिनल फ्लो भी कहते हैं. मनी फ्लो ऑल्सो नोन नॉमिनल फ्लो. ओके, एंड इट इज़ हैविंग द एक्सचेंज ऑफ मनी टू मनी. इसमें मनी टू मनी एक्सचेंज है. देयर इज नो इन्वॉल्वमेंट ऑफ गुड्स टू गुड्स. इट इज़ हैविंग द मनी टू मनी, एंड दिस वॉज रियल फ्लो इज एक्सचेंज ऑफ गुड्स टू गुड्स लाइक बार्टर सिस्टम, एंड दिस वन इज एक्सचेंज ऑफ मनी टू मनी. ओके, नाउ फर्स्ट द पेमेंट डन बाय फर्म. पहले फर्म पेमेंट करेगी. Firm will do payment rent for land, wages for labor, interest for capital, and profit for entrepreneurship. इन सब के बदले में फर्म जो है पेमेंट करेगी रेंट, वेजेस, इंटरेस्ट, प्रॉफिट के फॉर्म में. किसको? हाउस होल्ड को. एंड हाउस होल्ड विल गिव पेमेंट, और हाउस होल्ड विल गिव एक्सपेंसेस टू फर्म्स. हाउस होल्ड जो है वो पेमेंट करेंगे कंजम्पशन एक्सपेंडिचर, बिकॉज हाउस होल्ड ने गुड्स एंड सर्विस कंज्यूम किया है फर्म की. गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज के बदले में हाउस होल्ड विल गिव कंजम्पशन एक्सपेंडिचर टू फर्म्स. सो नाउ द मनी इज होल गोइंग इन अ सर्कल. ओके, इट इज नॉट गोइंग आउटसाइड, इट इज सर्कुलर फ्लो ऑफ इनकम. ओके, सो वी कैन से दैट, see, if question comes in 3 marks, explain the circular flow of income, then you can explain real flow and money flow both to explain circular flow of income, or you can explain that three phase: generation, distribution and disposition, to explain circular flow of income. Both are correct. Both are known as circular flow of income. See, if we combine both the flows, real flow and nominal flow, this will become a complete circular flow of income. Okay, so I have just combined both the flows, and it becomes a complete circular flow of income. So you are seeing there are two sectors are there. See, there are four sectors, but to simplify the whole economic process, I have taken two sectors. In the whole book, there are two sectors are there. In the whole book, there are two sectors are there. So two sectors to simplify calculation, to simplify the understanding. That's why we have taken only two sectors: household and firms. Actually, there are four sectors: household, firms, government and foreign sector. Okay, so I have taken two sectors, household and firms, and combined real flow and nominal flow. So there are two loops are there. Inner loop is known as money flow. Outer loop is known as real flow. So outer loop may household will give factor services to firms, and firm will give goods and services to households. In the payment mode, that is the inner loop. Inner loop is the money flow. इसमें पेमेंट होगा. Household will give the consumption expenditure to firms for goods and services, and firms will give factor payment for factor services, okay, in the form of rent, wages, interest and profit. Okay, so you must remember that. So we have taken only two sectors. That's why it is known as closed economy. It usually comes in exam. What do you mean by closed economy? So closed economy is an economy where there are two sectors are there and there is no contact with the rest of the world. ऐसी इकोनॉमी जिसका दुनिया से कोई लिंक नहीं है, जिसमें कोई एक्सपोर्ट इंपोर्ट नहीं है, केवल दो सेक्टर्स हैं, हाउस होल्ड और फर्म, उसको बोलते हैं क्लोज इकोनॉमी. ओके, सो दिस सर्कुलर फ्लो इज ऑल्सो नोन एज क्लोज इकोनॉमी, सर्कुलर फ्लो ऑफ इनकम. ओके, so it is closed economy because there are two sectors are there, household and firms. And remember, in the closed economy, real flow is always equal to nominal flow, because whatever goods and services we exchange with the factor services is always equal to factor payment and consumption expenditure. So real flow is always equal to nominal flow in the closed economy. Okay, so if you are having any question, you can ask me on WhatsApp, on my WhatsApp number.